Hall of Fame boxing trainer Freddie Roach says Luis King Kong Ortiz has no chance against unified British heavyweight Anthony Joshua. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach says that Luis King Kong Ortiz, who is being reported as the replacement for Jarrell Big Baby Miller, as Jarrell Big Baby Miller failed the VADA testing, is looking like Luis King Kong Ortiz could step in and replace Jarrell Big Baby Miller for June 1st showdown with unified British heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. When asked how does Luis King Kong Ortiz fare with Anthony Joshua, Freddie Roach had this to say: no chance. He says he would just be a tune-up. That's it. He's gonna get washed. He doesn't have a chance. He doesn't have a chance in hell to beat Anthony Joshua. Says Anthony Joshua, if not the best, he's one of the best in the division. He said Luis King Kong Ortiz at this point in time is old and he doesn't have a chance. I totally disagree with Freddie Roach. I think that, and respectfully, I disagree with Freddie Roach because Freddie Roach has forgotten more boxing than I'll ever know in my life. But with that said, I think that Luis King Kong Ortiz has a hell of a chance, seeing as though he's a southpaw, Cuban, slick fighter with power, and is on a short notice. So Anthony Joshua hasn't been preparing for a Cuban southpaw, slick counter puncher, defensive power puncher. He hasn't been preparing for that. He's been preparing for a big thudding coming forward, throwing a 100 punches around with slightly, and I mean slightly, off defensively. Jarrell Big Baby Miller doesn't have near the defense of Luis King Kong Ortiz. He's not nearly as crafty as Luis King Kong Ortiz. He's not nearly as the counter puncher Luis King Kong Ortiz is, and he doesn't have nearly the power Luis King Kong Ortiz has. Jarrell Big Baby Miller is a weigh you down type of fighter. He's a come forward type of fighter. He gets hit often in fights, but he's one of the fighters that he'll take one to give you two. He'll take two to give you his one, but he'll try to outwork you. He doesn't try to knock you out. He's not giving you angles. He's not giving you different looks. He's not countering your punches. He's not countering your jab. And he doesn't have the power of Luis King Kong Ortiz. So with that said, I give Luis Ortiz a hell of a shot to beat Anthony Joshua. I think that Ortiz, this is definitely a 50-50 fight. And I think that Ortiz has the advantage, seeing as though he's coming in on short notice. And Anthony Joshua hasn't been looking or preparing. So now Anthony Joshua is going to have to bring in southpaw counter punches with a slick style and give you different angles. That's very hard to find, especially in the form of Luis King Kong Ortiz. Cuban style is very difficult, as we know. One thing, we don't know, Luis Ortiz didn't look the best in his last fight. A lot of people been calling for this fight. Luis Ortiz himself been calling for this fight. A lot of people felt like Ortiz was being ducked by Anthony Joshua. And I have to agree. He was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua some years back, and the fight never came to fruition as Ortiz signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Promotions to get a fight with Anthony Joshua, and the fight never came to fruition. So now looks like the lucky time for Luis King Kong Ortiz. And with that said, I want to say this. I think that Anthony Joshua, if he does accept this fight, because I don't think that he should accept this fight, me personally. Why? Short notice. All the reasons I just gave you and why Ortiz have a chance. Short notice, Cuban southpaw, slick boxer with defense. But with that said, Anthony Joshua, go ahead and take this fight. And he's calling for the fight. From what I'm hearing, all the sources telling me that he's actually calling for this fight. He's looking for this fight. That was the first name on his list. And with that said, if he's daring to be great, kudos to him. Hats go off to him. They need the proper opponent as they prepare for Anthony Joshua's debut here in the States at Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden is no venue to sneeze at. Madison Square Garden is the most famous arena in the world. So with that said, you just don't put on lackluster fights in that type of arena, in that type of venue. So you got to put on the best you can put on. So going with Luis King Kong Ortiz would be wonderful. That would be exciting. That would be great for the sport of boxing. That would be great for us as fans. Now, with that said, this would show that Anthony Joshua is daring to be great. And then nobody could complain about Anthony Joshua not daring to be great. If he takes this fight on short notice with Luis King Kong Ortiz, had to go off to Anthony Joshua. But as far as Freddie Roach saying Luis King Kong Ortiz doesn't have a chance, I totally disagree with Freddie Roach. Respectfully disagree. But let's see how this plays out. Luis King Kong Ortiz is reportedly mulling over the contract, mulling over the decision, seeing where he wants to go from here. He's going over, he wants more money than Jarrell Big Baby Miller, or at least equal to the money Jarrell Big Baby Miller got. He was reported to make $6.5, almost $7 million or something like that. And Jarrell and Luis King Kong Ortiz understanding the situation and the corner that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua are backed into, only having 5 to 6 weeks left before the fight. And now Jarrell Big Baby Miller wasn't awarded a license here in the New York State Athletic Commission. So with that said, they have to make a move quick. They have to make a decision quick. And seeing as though it's Joshua's debut, like I said, here in the States and at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world, you have to put on a hell of a show. You just can't put any old body in replacement for that. Adam Kalinowski, I reported, would be a great lateral move from Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Their styles are very similar. They're both from New York, things of that nature. But Adam Kalinowski turned down the fight. So that leaves them with a short list of fighters that they could choose from, one being Luis King Kong Ortiz. So let's see how this plays out. But that's all I got for y'all, man. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Freddie Roach says Luis King Kong Ortiz doesn't have a chance to beat Anthony Joshua. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
The Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the Empress. Much love. Mwah.